Hello, PMC fans. It is Mayor McCheese back again, once again, and today, people, it is time. Yes, that is right. You see the layout, you see all of the analysts. It is time for us to give you who we think is going to win each match. And obviously, I couldn't do this alone because it wouldn't be as fun. So I have some friends with me. I have a few analysts, and we'll start off with my good friend Cloud Envy here.
What is going on, guys? Cloud Envy here, and I am happy to be in this spot this week.
And we have D-Pad Gamer.
What's going on, PMC fans? Happy to be here.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Aiden Migo.
I'm sick.
Well, he's sick, people, but don't hold that against him. But guys, I don't know about you, but I'm extremely hyped for Week 1 to get kicked off. We have some amazing matches to start the season. Just looking at them, though, how do you guys feel about the matches?
Do you want to do this round robin?
Yeah, let's do some round robin. How about the same order that I introduced you guys?
Sounds good.
These are very split decision. Very split down the middle between all of us. Matches are absolutely going to be the most competitive thing since Season 1. I just want to get my power rankings done. That's what it is. I want to even where.
How about
I really like a lot of the matchups. I think that the teams are pretty well balanced, and even the ones that have Ubers on their team, the Jspeckz tests, it'll be interesting to see how they pair up against each other.
I think as far as Week 1 goes, it's very difficult to determine because, at least for me, I haven't been around for this before. This is my first time really being part of this league. So there's very few people that I actually know. Like, I know Adam from the Kansas City Kakunas, and I know Jack from the Maryland Mienshaos, but beyond that, I don't really know much of the people who are playing this season. So for me, it was a lot based on team builds and, like, the draft. And even for Adam and Jack, like I said, I did theirs based on draft just because that was how I was doing everything else's. As we get into the further weeks, I feel like we're going to see more and more of the analysts agreeing on our picks because we can see clearly how this is being laid out.
Yeah, I gotta just second that I based all of my opinions based on purely the team matchup, not the player at all. So
Yeah, I tried my best to be unbiased, but there were certain situations where I knew for a fact that certain players were better than other players, so that kind of altered my decision a little bit. But, I mean, without further ado, first I'm going to introduce to you guys everybody that will be making picks for us this season. First off, you will see Dr. V, aka Asio. We have my good friend Esperancer. You do not see any of his picks on the screen at the moment because he didn't get his picks to me at the time we recorded this, but next week, no worries, they will be caught up. As long as, I mean, he moved to Japan, so it's going to be awkward trying to get the schedule together between him and us, but it will be caught up. After Dallas, we have Tyler, the Phantom Base. Under him, we have Verd. Under Verd is Aiden, who was here with me today. Under Aiden is me. Under me is Cloud, and under Cloud is D-Pad Gamer. Now, with that, people, let's hop right into the first matchup. We have Adam, the Bee's Knees, coach of the Kansas City Kakunas, versus Kyle, aka Lugia X, or Lugia X, his name is weird, people, coach of the Mesquite Mesprits. Now, this one was really split. A very split decision on us. I ended up choosing Adam just because I'm scared to see what Adam can do with Genesect, quite honestly.
Yeah, this one was an interesting one for me to pick as well. I've got their teams loaded up. Adam's got the Genesect. The thing that I think I was scared of for the Mesprits, and I chose the Mesprits, was that Mamoswine checks a lot of Kyle's team, being the Latios, the Mega Metagross, the Togekiss, Honchkrow, Roserade, Flygon, Rampardos, Electrode. Mamoswine is a big threat to this team, and I wasn't sure how it would fare against it. But a lot of that stuff is faster than Mamoswine, forcing him into a Scarf and becoming predictable. And just the overall matchup, I felt like, was better in Mesprits' favor. The Mesprits could really bring any of its team against Adam, whereas things like Muck on Adam's team, or things like the Regirock on Adam's team, I can't see putting in much work, limiting his options.
That actually helped me a lot with my decision here. The Mamo is a huge threat, but at the same time, I was a little biased here. I know Kyle personally, and I know he knows how to run a Mamo. And by that logic, he has to know how to take one down.
Yeah,
Right?
He's
gonna prep really
that's why I went with Kyle.
So I went with Kansas City, but just barely. The biggest thing I was concerned about with Kansas winning is that Conkeldurr, because you go down the list of things that are weak to a Mach Punch, and it's pretty high up there. Between Mach Punch and Knockoff, Conkeldurr can just really run shop over Kakunas, but I picked Kansas City just based on the overall team and the fact that he's bringing Conkeldurr, and because you know that Mesprits are bringing Conkeldurr, you can plan around that.
Oh yeah, the Conkeldurr is also, it's a big threat to Kansas, of course.
Yeah.
It running the right moveset, it can hit every single thing, barring I think like Muck and Mienshaos for super effective damage.
That situation is such a double-edged sword, because it has such an advantage, but at the same time, he's gonna bring it 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Does Conk get Earthquake?
I do not believe so.
I mean,
It does.
everything
does.
gets Earthquake.
It does. So it hits Muck. The only thing it doesn't hit for super effective would be Mienshaos, unless you want to run the HP flying.
Doesn't anybody run EQ Conk?
Yeah, I don't think too many people run EQ Conk. But this is a pretty good, this is a pretty good front runner for match of the week in my opinion. I'm really looking forward to see what that match brings. Now we move on to the next match. We have Orso, coach of the Windsor Weaviles, and Alcoholic Gamer Boy, coach of the Bermuda Tri-Attacks. Now with this, we have someone who was kind of new to the format in Orso, and someone who was literally brand new to the format, with this literally being his first ever endeavor in league play. How do you guys feel about this one? I went ahead and I picked Bermuda, just because, like I said, out of, I have experience with Orso. I've been in leagues with Orso. I've seen Orso play. And not that he's a bad player or anything, but I feel as if as long as Kai is a good battler and can create a plan and follow his plan, I feel as if he can have a decent chance to win with the matchup.
Well, as you can see, I put my lock, or if you want to call it, I don't know. I put my most confident pick on Bermuda, which is why it's bolded there. So this was the one that I was most sure about. And honestly, none of these matches I was sure about this week. I had to pick one, and I didn't want to choose the Mesprit Kansas one because I know Adam's a good battler, and I didn't want to go against that necessarily. The later ones I'll get into why I didn't. There's one I considered it, but I was like, no, I'm going to take a risk here, and I put it on Bermuda. And basically, I know Bermuda's really new to the format, but Bermuda just has a better matchup against it. Zard-X runs through Windsor's team.
So
if he can get the setup in, which he can easily get a setup in on Entei. The moment Entei comes in, if Entei's choice locked, Zard sets up and wins.
So it's not just that either as to why I picked Bermuda. You've got a terrifying core. You've got Charizard X, Rotom Wash, you've got Umbreon, Dredagon,
You've
Bramble.
got Excadrill there. Excadrill pairs up wonderfully with Zard.
Excadrill, and then Staraptor, if he runs it like a, what's it called?
Reckless
Final Gambit.
Staraptor runs through teams for one. That is something that is very hard to prep for.
An absolute monster.
If you don't have a solid rock type to take those hits, and even with that, it can run close combat, so it can pretty much take care of your rock type unless it's Rhydon, cough.
To note, the only resistance that Windsor has to flying is Electivire and Registeel. Registeel gets hit by close combat. Electivire is frail.
Yeah.
Well, and regardless of typing, Staraptor has Final Gambit as a 1-for-1 trade on pretty much any of his team.
And honestly, when trying to set up with Zardex, which you can see is his main core here, which is what's going to win him most of his games, that's useful. Plus the sticky web support, I think Bermuda just has the better matchup here.
Yeah, I've pretty much see sticky webs being almost a foolproof plan. Good lord. Hashtag verbal diarrhea, people. But if you're able to set up sticky webs with Galvantula with like no... Like if Orso doesn't prep for the fact that he can set up sticky webs turn 1, in my opinion, he loses the game to Zardex 100%.
Yeah.
Now see, the only way I can see him dealing with that, and hold on, the only way that I can see him dealing with that, and you look at his team, he's got Mega Absol with Magic Bounce, but that's just begging for a Bug Buzz. You've got Donphan with Rapid Spin, that's begging for a Giga Drain. He's gonna have to run something fast with Taunt that will get in the way. And the reason I kind of want to look at what Windsor has is because if you note, the 4 people in this call right now are the 4 that went for Bermuda.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to give a different perspective. Whereas he does have Victini, and we've seen Victini tear through teams, and I've seen it in many different leagues. Entei with Bandit Entei is a powerhouse. Mega Absol is versatile. Like, Windsor's not out of the running yet.
No. I don't count Windsor out at all. It's just on the other spectrum, giving Windsor a chance. What switch-ins does he really have to Victini other than Rotom Wash, I mean, if he runs full special attacking with Energy Ball, he can somewhat take care of that. But he won't
I genuinely think Granbull's going to be his Victini switch-in.
Yeah,
I think there's also another option in the if you do a Choice Scarf, Destiny Bond, Mismagius, you have an automatic kill switch for Victini.
That's true. Although if you bring in a Mismagius on a Victini, you're gonna be scared of the Scarf. So
yeah, you're probably gonna rip. And Cloud, do you have any input on this match, my friend?
Honestly, everything I thought has already been said.
Alright, people, so rip Cloud. No, we're going to rip Cloud. And as Aiden said, that this was his lock of the week with all 4 of us that are currently on this call with Bermuda as our pick. So that's quite funny.
I can see why the other 3 chose New York, though. Or not New York, I'm looking at the wrong match. Windsor Weaviles.
And rip Aiden as well, people. and
yeah, since... I mean, hey, on the plus side,
I'm sick, give me a break.
If Windsor wins, we're all eating crow next week.
Yeah, all of us, every single one, especially Aiden. Oh my goodness.
Ugh.
Alright, so now let's go on, since he name-dropped New York, let's go on to the next match, being RG the Awesome, coach of the New York Metagross, and Jack the Miendos, coach of the Maryland Mienshaos. Now, for this one, I went ahead and I picked Maryland. I love Jack's team. Even though RG's team is also quite frightening, I feel like Jack has one of the... honestly, Jack and RG, in my opinion, are probably 2 and 3 as far as rosters go, in my opinion. With Jack possibly even being number 1, honestly. But it's just, I feel like Jack has the matchup, he has the strong team, and he can do some damage to RG this week.
Yeah, see, when I was first looking at the matchups, and I was talking with Jspeckz, because I came on to the Analyst team a little later, I heard everybody was hyping up one team, and he said, you'll know the team when it gets there. And I looked, and I said, is one of the teams New York or Maryland? And he said, neither of those are the teams. That just shows you how much I am hyped for this match, how much I think this is going to be one of the better matches, and why I was so unsure of this match. Like, this one, if you look, New York's team, I get it, it looks a little underwhelming, but all of these I've seen put in work. Mawile I don't know why people don't pick it more often. It deserves to be higher than tier 5. Like, just what it can do, it's sort of underwhelming, and its mega sort of overshadows it completely and makes you sort of forget about it, but it is good. That Fairy Steel type with Intimidate, all the different moves, it gets Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch, it's a good Pokemon. So, I genuinely think that just looking at the matchup here, while I love New York's team, Maryland is the way to go. It's got a much better defensive core that can shut down a lot of things, and I think Jack knows how to put on the offensive pressure, and it was one of the only matches where I did have to use my prior knowledge bias because I just couldn't decide.
So I went with Metagross on this one, New York, just because he's got 2 insane Pokemon on the top of his list. I mean, he's got Cresselia, which is the Moonduck Wall of walls, and he's got Volcanion, which is untested, but it's really strong. And then he's got Mega Venusaur as well, so he's got quite a really strong core, and then he's got fast hitters like Haxorus and Jolteon to wrap it up.
I just want to say, Lantern shuts down Volcanion, so does Starmie. And Lantern can hit hard back. As well as far as Cresselia goes, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the power of Kyurem, especially when Jack uses it.
Oh yeah.
I can see him running
Jack,
like
hold on,
a
Jack.
fast, taunt, toxic, whatever on anything just to get rid of. Jack is smart. He knows how to handle Cresselia.
Jack's like favorite offensive core is Kyurem Meloetta, so I don't want to hear anything about Jack. This man is a horse, okay? He always in like 3 different leagues I've either analysted or played in against him. He's always had Meloetta and Kyurem, and I thought he was gonna do it again. When I seen him grab Kyurem, I was like, oh yeah, we're going for that core, huh, Jack? But Jack's an amazing battler. RG is also a good battler when he wants to be. There are some times where his issue is he likes to make a lot of weird plays sometimes. Like, you know what? I'm going to consider he's going to bring HP Steel, and I'm going to send in my mind that Resist Steel and DD up on him. And then that's going to give me a chance to win. And then he makes a weird play like that and ends up getting 6-0'd.
See, now
Yeah,
I don't have any prior knowledge of either of these battlers, so I was just going off the team.
Yeah, I went strictly based off paper. As much as I love RG's team, it's got a lot of power to it. I just feel like Mienshaos have a lot more versatility on their side.
Yeah, I mean, I've been friends with Jack for a long, long time. Like, longer than Jspeckz has. Me and Jack go way back. And one thing that I note is that there is a specific set, and I'm sure if you look on the internet, you can find records of when me and Jack used this set. That set for Gliscor, fabulous against this team. And I don't want to say, are these going up before or after the match?
This goes up on Saturdays.
So after.
So before.
After they do their match.
After they do the match, but before it's uploaded, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good to say this. I came up with a Hyper Cutter max offense Gliscor with Acrobatics and Earthquake and no item. Look at what, like Jolly, max attack, max speed, Earthquake, Acrobatics, U-turn, and Defogger Sword Stance. Tell me what stops that.
That is cruel.
Tell me what stops that.
So cruel.
Hyper Cutter means that Mawile and Hitmontop's Intimidate don't affect it. U-turn hits Cresselia and Azelf. Earthquake hits Mawile. Earthquake hits Rhyperior. Earthquake hits Jolteon. Acrobatics hits Mega Venusaur.
That might just be insane.
If Jack is smart enough to bring that Gliscor, the set that I've given him long ago, it can wreck shop.
Now, I've never seen either of these battle, but if Jack is as good as I'm told, I wouldn't doubt it.
And we
Yeah,
hear it here first, people. Aiden is the Swami when it comes to movesets. I mean, Hypercutter, offensive lie score, people. Where you hear that from? Only Aiden. Well, I mean, this is the guy who was on my channel with the dancing Ludicolo. So,
Hey,
time to dance.
I mean, I'm a better battler when I'm not doing that.
Alright, so let's move on to the next battle. A very hyped match on Twitter, if I do say so myself, with everybody's votes and polls for this match on Twitter. Ridiculously one-sided, and funny enough, it's one-sided completely in the way different from what we have on our polls, as we all picked Dolphin, but it was a 9-1 choice in favor of Maxx on Twitter. How do you guys feel about this match?
I'm gonna let them go first because I'm the only one that voted for Maxx.
Maxx's team doesn't have synergy. I'm done. That's all I need to say.
Yeah, when you look at the team, I mean, I have a huge bias against Charizard Y. That's pretty much it. Like, your Mega is 4 times weak to Rock.
Then again, so is Zardax, and Zardax is popular.
Well, Zardax is only weak to Rocks initially. If you can get the Mega off, then you're fine. But Charizard Y is screwed all the time.
I think it's a waste of a Mega slot.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I just feel like Maxx's roster has literally nothing for Protean Greninja. Like this, if any week for Protean Greninja to shine, I feel as if it's this week. Because...
Well, any week.
Any week. It doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, no, other weeks there are going to be different players with different things that can actually try to touch the thing, whereas even just his normal stabs, Maxx has nothing for it.
I just want to point out that everyone but Cloud Envy voted for Dolphin, but Cloud Envy not only voted against everyone, but he's so confident. Look at that bold.
I did put my lock in for Maxx. I had to.
Yeah, I think Cloud pulled out his inner hipster for his lock of the week this week. I don't know what exactly was the shenanigans about that one. We see Tyler actually puts Dolphin down as his lock. I honestly had no idea who was going to win this match. I feel as if offensively Dolphin's team as a whole is just too much for Maxx to handle because of how awkwardly put together his team is.
Yeah, it's very awkward fitting.
But I didn't want to risk putting a lock on it just because when I was talking to Maxx, he had some very funky sets that he was considering running. So I don't know what this man's going to bring to the table. Who knows? It's going to be a very interesting match, and I'm really hyped to see it.
Now, I am so confident in Maxx, only because, A, we have no idea how he performs in battle. Like, I want to call this an advanced team, but there's definitely a couple things he could have done differently. I am going to say that his counter to Protean Greninja is going to be that Sandro Stoutland. But past that, I mean, I've run dual weather teams before. They can work. If he has the skill, I really think he can pull out of this one.
Yeah, I think he has a chance, but I don't have much faith.
Well, I guess we just have to wait until Sunday to see and find out what happens, right, people?
Yeah,
These Sunday matches are going to be amazing. Now we have another possible match of the week, in my opinion. A very, very intriguing match as far as what I want to watch myself. Obviously, I'm going to watch all the matches, but this is one that really piqued my interest. Hello? What in the world did I just say? We have CJ, coach of the Baltimore Oriolus, versus Akki, coach of the Portland Crobats. Two very well put together teams, in my opinion. CJ's team, I really like CJ's team, but I also like Akki's team. He has Hoop Unbound, he has Orlando T, but then CJ has stuff like Manaphy and Emboar and Mega Sableye. So it's two very interesting teams that I feel are going to clash very well together.
So I gotta jump in here on this one. This is how sure I am. This was almost my lock, and this is crazy because my favorite Mega is Mega Lopunny. I will use it in every match if I could, and I went against it. Like, I just think this particular match, Portland does not have the right matchup. I mean, when you're facing, Manaphy, Jirachi, Scolipede, which can speed pass into any of those things. You can speed pass into Emboar. Like, what is his team gonna do? I just don't.
Yeah, I think Emboar has a problem. If he can get that baton pass on Scolipede out, sorry. I think Emboar can wreck shop.
Cloud, care to speak up, you horse?
I'm really gonna have to go with Portland in this one. I've been disagreeing for a good part. I'm sorry, for a good amount of this video, but between Mega Lopunny, I mean, nothing is resisting both his dual stabs. And Hoopa Unbound just destroys this. Honestly,
I see what you're saying, but what I'm picturing is Scolipede getting off a speed boost or two, and then just killing Hoopa in one shot. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely right. I can really see him bringing the final gambit Acelgor just for the Scolipede, though.
Or what if he speed passed into Escavalier?
Get out.
That would be beautiful.
yeah, but he'd have to get like all 6 speed boosts off to make it worth it.
Because that thing is so slow, but it hits so hard. And with that,
if he
people,
just that off,
what
he
happened?
can really just bounce back and forth Lando.
Wait, what? You horse?
If he gets a speed pass off, wow, I choked for a minute there. Portland really just has to keep bouncing Lando in and out with his core.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's an interesting match for sure.
And with that, people, we shall move on to the final match of the week. Another good one, but it's one we're pretty much all in favor of the same team.
Hoo ha!
Except for Mr. Hoo-Ha here. All of us voted for Trev, coach of the Atlanta Braviaries, versus Spencer, coach of the Washington Talonflames, who Aiden had picked. So, how do you guys feel? I honestly think Atlanta's team is offensively scary. Like, I wouldn't want to prep for that team. Like, yes, it might not be the best team on paper, but it is sure very, very annoying to prep for.
Have you seen Trev use a double aid? It's not funny. It's very, very frightening to have double aid in his hands.
I'm gonna do my thing once all 3 of you are done.
Okay. I went with Atlanta, and initially, this is my lock. I mean, it's just his team is scary. It's just straight up scary, and he's one of the bravest people I know because he's drafting a Mega Adino. I mean, it's like literally the worst Mega ever since Mega was a thing. And like, look at his team though. I mean, he's got Sticky Web support. He's got the potential to Quiver Dance into any of his 3 top tiers. I mean, he's got Tornadus T, Landorus I, and Kieran Black. I mean, there is not a lot that's going to stand up to that. He's got potential. You can't prep for Infernape. Like, what's the prep?
You can.
It's
it's
hard. It's hard to prep for it.
Tell me what Infernape can solidly do to a Weezing or a Garchomp.
But I mean, what exactly would you want Infernape in on Weezing?
Or even a Hariyama. Thick fat Hariyama.
I just want to mention that my is taking down many.
I just want you to know that I didn't understand anything you just said.
We got massive feedback.
Cloud.
Infernape can take a Garchomp. It's just at risk of its own life.
Exactly.
Okay,
Which
but
I think, as if you guys have made Trev out to be this great battler, I don't think he's willing to risk that.
see now, I mean, Infernape is actually, it's my favorite non-Mega Pokemon. I run it all the time, and if for counter teams, if I see something like a Garchomp or something, I'm gonna run a more cheeky set with Endeavor. You know what I mean? Like a suicide lead Endeavor.
I don't know. This matchup, I'm not. I don't know. This is the battle of the birds, the Braviaries versus the Talonflames, and I don't know. I just think it's. I mean, as soon as I see Trev, if Trev do this to me 1 week, okay, bring a team full of nothing but offense. Don't even bring Megalodino. Just bring Lando I, Kieran Black, Infernape, Feraligatr, Tornadus T, and then just bring Leavanny for sticky webs, set them things up, let Leavanny die, and then watch your opponent click DC.
My favorite thing about Trev's team is that he can really make great use of Megalodino.
His team is scary, man. I don't want to hear anything. He has Reuniclus, he has Skuntank, he has Gator. Mega Audino is just going to sit in there and suck up whatever you throw at its face.
It's just gonna cleric everything, so he never has to worry about parahacks.
And then it's literally like, okay, he has a Lando Eye. Lando Eye is ridiculously scary in this format, but alone I can get by it. And then Kieran Black. Oh, alright, well, he has a Zoid. We're going to act like he doesn't have a Zoid on his team and act as if we still have a chance. And then he has a Genie in Tornadus T as well. And it's like, alright, he has a giant bird, he has a evil Genie, and he has Liger Zero Dragon thing. DC. That's it. DC.
Yeah, looking at the teams, he's honestly, if I was in this league, he is the one that I would be most worried about playing.
Yeah,
he's the one I'd be excited to face.
This is the team, everyone. I was telling Aiden that everybody was hyping. And Aiden was like, this team, it's not that good, guys. Okay. And I'm like, Aiden, go get a sugar cube. But Aiden, would you like to let us all know why you went against the grain and
it is
dropped
Aiden's turn.
Yes, it is, Migo.
So, I want to point out that you said something along the lines of, Trev, I want to see you one time bring only offense. That's his team. He has Deblade and Mega Audino. Mega Audino, I love it to bits. I wish somebody could use it properly. It is not a good Mega. It's not a good wall. It's going to get blown back.
That's what I think.
The only thing on his team I don't like is Luxray.
It's Aiden's turn.
Aiden, you know what?
Which leaves Deblade.
Let's kick him from the call, people.
Deblade is, yeah, it's decent, but it's knockoff fodder. It's not gonna stay there forever. It doesn't have recovery. I don't know if you guys happen to see from the GBA MV's week 2 match against, or it was 2 or 3, that basically just brought up all setup sweepers. If you want to beat Trev, that's what you've got to do. He's got Mega Scizor, he's got Crocodile, he's got Electros, he's got Suicune, he's got Gengar, he's got Superior and Chandelure, he's got Garchomp. All these things, if run pure offensively, will tear through Trev's team. Now, you said leave Annie for Sticky Webs. Let me just look at your team and why you shouldn't bring Sticky Webs. Mega Scizor, bulky and won't be fast anyways. Gengar floats above Sticky Webs. Suicune, bulky and won't be fast anyways. Crocodile, I can see that. Electros floats above Sticky Webs. Braviary floats above Sticky Webs. Weezing floats above Sticky Webs. Garchomp, again, you could do that, but if you want to get cheeky, bring a White Herb. Hariyama, not fast enough. Superior, contrary. That's why you don't bring Sticky Webs. Because there's a Superior sitting right there. He will not bring Sticky Webs.
You horse, I never said, hey, Trev, bring Sticky Webs this week. I said 1 week in the future,
I'm making a point in this matchup.
I'm making a point that you're a horse.
Trev's team matchup against Washington, while Trev may arguably be the better battler, Washington has the much greater team matchup. And that's why I picked him, because even though he's got all these offensive threats, they don't exactly synergize the best together. You've got 3 of your best offensive threats being Lando I, Kieran Black, and Tornadus T. None of them resist ice. In fact, one of them's quad weak to it. And ice is a very Ice Beam and HP Ice are 2 of the most common moves.
I think if he runs a bulky defensive Superior 2 with Glare, Atlanta's going to be in trouble.
Which, yeah, I will stick by the fact that I am the only person voting. I almost put my lock on this match. That's how close this was.
Well, I mean, people, this just makes me more and more excited to see who's right and who's wrong with week 1. We have 6 amazing matches. Thank you all for joining me this week. I don't know how many of them are going to be able to join me next week because, I mean, people's schedules changes. Washington. Oh my. Well, we have a Washington fan here. Spencer, we have Aiden, aka Apocalypse. Everything he preps will fall. Yeah, so we have Apocalypse here. You're technically Magneto, Trev, so turn on him. And people, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Oh my lord, verbal diarrhea, people. The channel, not the channel. I don't know what a channel is, but the link to the spreadsheet so that once all the battles are done, you guys can be up to date will be in the bottom of this video. You also will be able to keep up with all the Analyst videos. I don't know how I almost went brain dead right there. But make sure you follow the Twitter and subscribe to every Analyst that is in this video with me, of course. Aiden doesn't like to upload, so I don't know if you should subscribe to him. You have to ask him about
Probably
that.
not.
Yeah, so he doesn't recommend
Check
it.
out my Mario Maker level.
Yeah, he has a pretty sweet Mario Maker, people. He makes that Splatoon content. And
Yeah, no. You're putting my Mario Maker code ID in your description. That's how this works.
Alright, well, his Mario Maker will be there. My SoundCloud will be there. Cloud's America's Got Talent edition will be in there. D-Pad will put his instrumentals that he makes, because he makes instrumentals. And yeah, I'm gonna put my horse t-shirts online. So people, let us know in the comment section how do you feel. And I mean, if you want to be like the GBA and pretty much tell us who your locks of the week are and stuff like that for these matches and who you actually pick to win each match, that'll help as far as interaction. That'll help make the league amazing. And shoutouts to Alcoholic Gamer Boy for this amazing graphic, people. That is the coach for the Bermuda Tri-Attacks. And I mean, if there's nothing else you guys want to say.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see how many we got right and wrong.
Alright, people. Well, we'd like to say goodbye. Jspeckz and friends signing out.
Sickness.
Well.